Hola. So, I'm making this intro for a couple of reasons. So, first of all, I want to tell you that this is not going to be the highest quality video. It won't be as high quality as the last ranking games, and here's why. Last year, everything was scripted, and that meant I was able to say everything I wanted to say correctly. The issue is when I'm reading off a script, even if I completely believe what I'm reading, which obviously I did, I wrote the script, if I'm just reading off of something, it doesn't sound natural. So when I go back and watch that, it kind of sounds like I don't know quite the word, but it doesn't fully sound like I believe in what I'm saying, even though I'm the one who wrote those words down. It sounded unnatural. It sounded like I was just making stuff up to try and praise the games better than I really believed, or even putting games down lower for reasons I didn't really believe in. That wasn't the case. And so this year I thought, well, instead of writing scripts, what I'm going to do is I am just going to put down a bunch of bullet points and go over the bullet points so that way it sounds more natural. Issue is, as you know, this is being uploaded in September, unless for some reason I'm not able to edit this part onto the front and it delays another month or so, which I don't imagine would happen. I'll probably be able to upload this today, in fact, finally. But I recorded the segments, over time between the end of 2018 and now. But the issue was at the very end of 2018, I didn't have time to, and so much time passed between then and when I was finally able to make the segments that, honestly, I just forgot a lot of the details I wanted to say. I remembered the overlying things, what I wanted to say, overall, this is what I thought of the game, a few specific details, but for most games, pretty much everything except for Okami, I forgot a lot of the more nitpicky, both good and bad nitpicky things I wanted to say about the games. And so, these segments are way more short. And because of that, I kind of decided, I kind of figured there wasn't any point in putting as much effort into them. Not because of laziness, but just because, first of all, this video is already so late that editing it would just, delay it even further. And also just, I already knew I wasn't going to be completely proud of the end product. I will say, recording this now, from what I see so far, it's better than really what I was hoping. It's better than what I was kind of expecting, but it's not as good as, what I was hoping. Hi, Snickers. When I first, was thinking about the video throughout 2018. This is a good girl. So anyway, yeah, this video, I didn't put as much effort into editing the segments themselves. In-betweens and all that. In-betweens are still purposefully bad, obviously. And I didn't put as many, specific jokes. I didn't edit out, the clicking of the button. When I start a new audio recording, I didn't edit that out. So it's, overall not as high quality. Second reason I'm recording this part is to tell you, wow, this intro is 4 minutes already. To tell you that I'm doing something completely different for 2019. I think I already said this, but here's what I'm actually doing. I am recording the segments a few weeks after I beat, or at least spend a fair amount of time with the game. In other words, I already have Super Mario Maker 2, and what came before Super Mario Maker 2? What was the other? Let me just open the file real quick, just because for some reason I'm not remembering. You see, this is part of the problem is I'm already okay, Cadence of Hyrule. Cadence of Hyrule and Super Mario Maker 2, those games have already come out. I have already recorded the audio for them, so that means when it comes time to make the video, all I'll have to do is edit in footage, and everything will already be there. That does mean it's going to be longer, and I might hit, based on how long the Hades Viral and Super Mario Maker 2 things are, and how long I made the 2017 games list, I think I'm going to make this one, my 2019 one, a three-parter. But hopefully this, in the end, means 2019 will get done way sooner. Anyway, this has been an extremely long intro. In fact, I'm probably going to put a link to just get to the list, since this went on for so long. But yeah, here is a fairly low quality video, just a forewarning. Not my best work, but I hope you can enjoy it anyway. In fact, maybe you can just enjoy the cheesiness of it, how bad it is. Alright, so hope you enjoy. Sorry this took literally forever to make, but have a good one. Minute is a game in which you grab a magical sword that literally kills you every minute. Every time you die and respawn, the world resets and nobody remembers what happens except for you. However, you do get to keep any items you found, and if you made it to a new spawn point, you get to spawn there instead of your original place. It's a puzzle game that's very much based on old Zeldas like Link to the Past. There's still stuff I haven't found to this day in terms of completion, and I might actually complete this game one day. However, even though this is a single player experience, I really find this the most fun to play at parties. Passing it to a friend who has absolutely no idea what the game is and watching their face when the countdown appears for the first time is absolutely priceless. It's a very short adventure, which is why it's a little lower in this list. Well, I suppose the lowest of the actual games, but oh crap. It's very fun to switch out the controller between friends every time you die, and oh crap. In Nami Nagi Yami Okami, the land of Nippon is in danger, so you must take up the role of the goddess of furries and join forces with the man responsible for every Mewtwo moment in Nippon to prove you can learn to paint without going to art school. Which is a good choice, because if you did go to art school, it would just close down 3 terms in, and set her back an entire year! This year, some genius put Okami HC on the Switch, and some maniac made it $20. I never played the original game, so I can't exactly compare the HD version to the original, but I still think there are issues that probably existed in the original game, which could have been fixed between that one and this one. Primarily the brush. It's not the most accurate thing. The least accurate is when you have to connect something to something else, like when you have to take a flame and connect it to a torch or something like that. It often will read it as a sword slice or something else, some other shape, rather than just a connecting line. What I don't get is why they use so little shapes. For example, a circle does 3 different things in this game. And then there's a 4th brush technique, which is a circle with 2 lines on the end. So oftentimes you'll try to do something with the circle and it'll cause something else to happen. For example, you might be trying to draw a lily pad and instead you'll make the sun come out. I don't really get why they didn't even use the shapes triangle, a square, a rectangle, a plus. I mean, an X is used in the game, but it's only at certain points, only on a certain thing. So why couldn't they have just used that X anywhere in the game to either be something else or do what it currently does and just not force you to have to go to somewhere to use that symbol? Now, keep in mind, this is coming from someone who is fine with the motion controls in Skyward Sword, so it's kind of telling if this gimmick is annoying me. To be honest, in order to improve the brush strokes, I wouldn't even be opposed to a drop-down menu, sort of like selecting an item in Zelda, to select what you need to do. Now, while I'm on flaws of the game, let me mention something very, very, very nitpicky. There's a point of the story in which you think it might be ending, and then it has a still frame cutscene to tell you that it's not quite over. The thing is though, every cutscene thus far, except for the very beginning one, has been fully animated. So the fact that they have such a significant piece of information in just a still frame image really doesn't communicate well to you that this isn't the end of the game. To me, I thought it was going to just be about post-game stuff until the credits didn't roll an hour later. Oh yeah, and finally, Issun is just terrible. At best, he's pondering sexual assault. At best. Enough about flaws of the game though. Here's why I love this game. This game has a ton of replay value. It gives you so much post-game that New Game Plus is definitely worth it. I totally plan to come back to this. The story can be a bit confusing, but it still is pretty interesting, and it has a fair amount of good humor too. The combat system is awesome. It is totally customizable. And this game really reminds me of my favorite game of all time, Twilight Princess. There are very direct references like fixing cursed zones similar to fixing Twilight zones in Twilight Princess. There's the fact that you're a wolf, the movement is very similar. There are even a few music tracks that use similar instruments, such as Agata Forest, which reminds me of Ordon instruments in Zelda. And the game overall even feels like a Zelda game in places. It's very puzzle-oriented and it has dungeons and stuff. There are a few other minor things, but really this just feels like an off-brand Zelda game, but a good one. Ultimately, Okami would be a perfect game if they just fix up the brush mechanics a bit more and let me kill Issun. As you know, I'm a big Undertale fan. And this year, Toby Fox said he had something to announce the next day. Then I went there, and it was just a download for the full sequel to the game. Well, sort of sequel. It's like a spin-off of another universe, but whatever. Can you imagine that? That would be like if Marvel said there was going to be an Endgame trailer, and then you just went to watch the Endgame trailer, but no, it was a free ticket to a showing of the full movie later that day. Man, I don't even know what to say about this game. This is a long-awaited sequel to one of my favorite games. It's one of the few RPGs I like. They took the mechanics of Undertale and they just improved it in every single way. I love the new characters, I like the new story. I don't like it quite as much as Undertale, but I still like it. And of course, as a Toby Fox game, you know the OST is godly. I'm excited to see where Chapter 2 takes us, because Chapter 1 ended on a very interesting cliffhanger. Saw is a twisted series where a demented figure forces innocent souls through dangerous, torturous challenges in order to regain their freedom. That being said, Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion is the greatest Saw game I have ever played. Octo Expansion is a single-player add-on for Splatoon 2. In this game, you get to play as an Octoling and go through a subway system full of challenges to gain your freedom and go to the surface. And let me say, this is not an easy task. The best example of this is Girl Power Station. You have to defend this orb from a huge swath of Octolings just coming at you. I like the extra story bits that this thing added, and really, I gotta say, the reward of finally getting to play as an Octoling is awesome. People have been wanting that for years. This also adds a ton of variety to the single player. Where Splatoon single player has always been great, this game actually gives you more than just get to the goal, Mario style. And of course, it's Splatoon, so I love the music. Also, while this isn't related to Octo Expansion, Splatoon 2 finally got us Callie. They finally brought her home. Oh, thank goodness, she's finally back. So really, Octo Expansion just gave me more to love about a game that I needed to love a bit more. Marvel tried to say that Infinity War was the greatest crossover of all time, but let me lay it on an actual possible situation for you in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In this game, you can have Pac-Man punch Simon Belmont, who retaliates by grabbing Mega Man's Saw Blade and throwing it back, only for it to miss and instead hit Solid Snake. In return, Snake picks up a Pokeball and throws at Sonic the Hedgehog, only for Eevee to pop out and attack Bayonetta. Bayonetta grabs an assist trophy and summons Midna from The Legend of Zelda, who grabs Ryu from Street Fighter, only for him to break out in a Hurricane Kick, Super Mario, all of this happening on Kirby's Fountain of Dreams. And there are still 21 unmentioned series represented by playable characters alone in the base game. I know it's obvious for a Nintendo fan to have this at number 1, but come on. This is a crossover of nearly every series that I love. The soundtrack is near endless and there are more third-party characters than ever before. Sure, I'm disappointed this is the third Smash game in a row in which we didn't get a full new Zelda character, but everything about this game is just so perfect, it's absolutely impossible for me to seriously complain. This game is amazing, and it's just getting better and better. Better and better. It definitely deserves the number 1 spot.
Well, yeah, there you have it, my 2018 games list. I'm very excited to see where Nintendo and other companies take the gaming industry in 2019. I mean, it's not like we're already 9 months in or something like that.